Here is the quote, okay? From AC, "It's different wherever you go," said Hosmer, who spent 7 seasons with the Kansas City Royals before signing with the Padres before the 2018 season. So before this quote right here, he's talking about his situation at the deadline last year, how the Padres did not approach him and warn him that he was going to be in trade talks. Quote, "If my situation was in Kansas City, it would have been handled a little differently. But I'm not in Kansas City. I'm in San Diego. That's how they operate here. I'm not holding a grudge because no one came up to me and told me what's going on. I learned that's just part of the business." End quote. All right, well, Eric, I have a lot of problems with this. I'm sure a lot of Padre fans have a lot of problems with this quote. One, I get it. You love Kansas City. You're a legend there. You won them a World Series and all that, and you're not in Kansas City. You're in San Diego. Yes, you are correct about that, Mr. Hosmer. But to disrespect the front office when they were the ones that gave you $144 million doesn't make sense. And saying that your situation would have been handled differently in Kansas City, yeah. I mean, did it take you this long to do your homework, Eric? You play really well on a team, they're going to treat you differently, and they're going to treat you with more respect. You play badly, and you're not considered a big reason why the team is winning, yeah. I don't know if you deserve AJ Preller coming up to you and saying, "Hey, we're involving you in trade discussions. We want to trade you before the deadline, just so you know." Like, does he really deserve that the way that he's played? And to be quite honest, I haven't seen anyone bring up this example, so I'm going to do it right now. This is just fairness, to be quite honest. Actually, he's being treated better. According to reports, he's being treated better than what other former Padres have been treated in terms of trade talks with AJ Preller. Ty France is a prime example. Before he was traded 2020, 2 weeks before that deadline, AJ Preller talked to Ty France. And this was according to Ken Rosenthal last year in a piece he wrote. Ken Rosenthal said that Preller talked to Ty France and said to him, to his face, that France was going to be a big part in what the Padres were building in the next few years, 5-6 years. Something to that effect. And what do you know? 2 weeks later, Ty France gets traded for Dan Altavilla, Austin Nola, Austin Adams, I think one other guy, and that trade has not worked out well. I'd love to have Ty France. He'd be inserted as the first baseman, or at least the DH, on opening day, April 7th, in Arizona at Chase Field. And Hosmer would be probably on the bench. Now, that's one situation of one guy literally being lied to. Young player saying, "You're going to be an important part of what we're building." And then 2 weeks later, "No, actually, I changed my mind. We're going to trade you now." This hasn't happened with Hosmer. They're just not talking with him. Why does Hosmer deserve different treatment when he's not providing enough impact to the team anywhere near Manny's level? Why does he deserve different treatment than a first or second year player who's contributing the same, who's having a 1 WAR or a 0 WAR, and a replacement minor leaguer is having that could have those same stats as him? Why does he think he should have the special treatment? You know, this is the front office that gave you, again, I'll repeat it, that gave you $144 million. And you want to criticize them and say, "I'm not in Kansas City, I'm in San Diego. That's how they operate here." They don't operate, essentially saying they don't operate with respect. They're disrespectful. They owed me a conversation before the trade deadline. And by the way, what does that do? What is having a conversation before the trade deadline with Eric Hosmer, if you're AJ Preller, what does that do? What happens if you don't get a trade done and you're telling him that we're really trying to shop you here, we're probably going to move on, and then it doesn't happen? Wouldn't that be worse? Look, AJ Preller is a madman. I have so much respect for him on his phone all of the time. He works his butt off. And because he works his butt off, you'd assume that he has so many trades and players involved in these hypothetical trades all of the time. He's probably talking 20 different trades or free agent signings a day right now. The whole roster except Manny and Tatis and maybe Jake and Musgrove maybe, they're probably being talked about in trades in some fashion, whether it's him bringing them up to another team or if it's another team bringing it up to him. So if AJ were to walk around the clubhouse and had to tell every single player, yeah, we're involving you in trade talks right now, it would take him 2 hours to walk around the clubhouse, because I'm pretty sure he involves a lot of players, and he's just so open-minded, out of the box thinking, that he's thinking about a lot of different things, a lot of different ways to create financial flexibility. Because I doubt it. I'll tell you this right now. I doubt it that Eric Hosmer and Will Myers are the only ones that are the players that AJ is trying to create financial flexibility with by trading them. I just don't think that Eric deserves or needs AJ to come over to him and say, we're going to involve you in these trade talks, because there's no guarantee that he's going to be traded either. So to just bash the front office that gave you a contract that no one else was even close to being willing to give you doesn't make sense. And you can glorify Kansas City all you want, and yeah, they might have more respect for you, but that's because you were a better player then. You're not living up to your contract. You're not playing well enough here. And then saying, I'm not holding a grudge. Okay, whenever someone, this is like a life lesson, to be quite honest. I tweeted this right here. If you say, I'm not holding a grudge, that probably means you're holding a grudge.